a decent portion of the J6ers?
There's a lot of us. Nobody was planning to go there and push gates and push officers. You're not planning that. Oh yeah, I'm going to go there and I'm going to make, many of us, like myself, thought it was going to be a rally and we're going to scream, we're going to yell, and they're going to hear our voice. Because a congressman told me, that's what I said on one of my interviews. He said, if there's only 300 there, I don't listen to you. But if there's 1 million or 3,000, is what he said, I'll listen to you. So I said, we need 1 million people to go there. It's a war, and I meant political war, not violent. But so people need to know that there were people that planned it. They had this plan. But the ones that got there and then no plan, you get caught up and you start doing what everybody else is doing. I'm not giving them an out excuse, but I understand it because I did it. I stayed. I didn't leave, and I said, should I regret? Excuse my language. We all do. However, you do have a choice. It's just not in me to push barriers. And, an officer tells me to jump, I'll say how far. I used to be a police dispatcher in my 20s, and I was going to be a police officer, but I realized I couldn't pull a gun. I could never shoot somebody. I had to back out of that. But I have high regard for the police. But it doesn't excuse. I don't want to sound like somebody saying here what I did on January 6th was okay. Like I'm this good person or something.
So what are the things you've heard from people that were there that you disagree with the most?
That it wasn't set up by the FBI or the DOJ. I have already done a lot of research with the doors. One of them, that the doors were opened up. Well, who knows? How would I know? There's no truth about January 6th. Nobody has 100% truth. All I can share with you is what I've researched and learned. And there's a whole bunch of instances proven that so far that no officers opened that door. They try to twist the video and have you believe that. But when I talked to the Capitol Police in Boise, I said, why didn't they just get these people out? Why they just let them walk around? He said, because it's called crowd control. They don't know if you have a gun in your backpack. They don't know if you have knives. They don't know they're trying to calm you down long enough to get you out, try to control they're trained in that. And in the committee, a lot of them got reprimanded. Not everybody did it right, but they never had no experience with this either, no training. What to do, it was overwhelming. What step to take next, what to do next. Jacob Chansley, they don't tell you this, but in the court records, he'd been asked to leave. He had that spear. They didn't know what he had in his backpack. They weren't walking him around. They were telling him to leave, and he refused. People don't want to hear that, though. He refused.
How did your opinion of Trump change from that day to now?
It didn't right away. When I started, because what happened, I started the first J6 space on Twitter, and a whole bunch of J6ers came in and different people, and I was staying the victim at that time, and I came across a story by Gateway Pundit that Ryan Samsel, had lost his whole eye inside jail, and that was not okay. I don't care if I liked him or what he did on January 6th. You do not beat people up in jail and harm them that way. So resources that I won't say live, privately, one called me, and I spoke to the other. I said, he never lost his whole eye. He got beat up. It injured his eye, but not the whole eyeball. And then I saw his gifts send and go up to 40,000. I said, that's it. They're lying. They're playing victim. They're honoring people that hurt officers. No, I won't be a part of this. I'm sorry. I'm just not. It's not okay to harm another human being unless it's self-defense. And of course, that's what they claim. But, you don't harm people. That's not okay. There's no excuse for harming unless it is, like I said, self-defense. So I kept hearing all this stuff, and then I'm getting the facts, and I'm not liking the facts. Trust me, It's like, oh my God, I believe that. It's what I thought really happened. And then I'm shown court records, and not one Antifa had been in court and proved to be Antifa. So that was another lie. Not all the weapons, 120 guns were found. Oath keepers had them across the river. There were weapons, a lot more than I'm reporting right now. And I thought, well, they said there were no guns there, but there were guns there. It's just one propaganda, I hate the word lie, but are twisted things that, come on, let's just be honest. What really happened? Take responsibility for what you did. Come on, nobody forced you. Okay, now they got 26 informants. What does that have to do with what I did? I still made a choice to stay. I still trespassed it. I was picketing a parade. It doesn't matter if there was 100 FBI agents there that day. That's taken away from looking at what I did. And let's blame the DOJ. Let's blame the FBI. Let's blame everything on everybody. And I got a lot of enablers to help me stay in denial until I went and saw my therapist, and he's a really good therapist from Harvard. Pam, you're not a victim. You were a volunteer. Nobody made you stay. And that woke me up. And because I'm in the 12-step program, there's a step I have to work. See, my sobriety is number one, and I'm going to get honest with myself and God and you, whether I don't want to or not. And I did that 10th step. It said, when you're wrong, promptly admit it. Well, I hadn't promptly admitted it yet, but I was wrong that day on January 6th. And I have to admit that to myself, and people don't like it. They're really upset about me. You know the big smear that's going on. Because I'm taking a stand and saying, no, I'm sorry, you're not a victim. You were a volunteer. Grow up, be responsible, and admit where you were wrong, and things will change for you. You know, maybe you wouldn't have got 20 years prison. Maybe, everybody was calling me, don't take a plea, plead guilty. Think about it. I'm going to go in front of a jury and say it wasn't against the law to be there that day. They're going to look at me like I'm crazy. It was against the law. And I'm not going to be defiant to just go there and try to prove a point. I was wrong. That's all there is to it. I don't know about anybody else. If they think they want to justify what happened, that's on their heart, between them and God. Does that make sense?
100%. What about specifically Trump, though? Because you went from a Trump supporter to now you're pretty vocally not a Trump supporter.
Well, the election being stolen was the number one when I discovered all the courts never found any evidence. I thought if there's evidence, I kept asking people, where is this evidence that the election was stolen? Don't believe the Democrats. They lie all the time. They always tell you. They always gaslighted. They're always stealing an election. See, I didn't know anything about the propaganda warfare that's going on right now. So I never fact-checked nothing. I take your word for it. I took their word for it. I didn't check. Now I have the book. I've been reading it. I'm learning about the Russia propaganda and everything, that people are pushing out there. You have to be careful. Now you got to fact check the fact checkers. Who do you trust to put out something that's factual? Because none of us want to be lied to. But, if I want to stay in denial, I'll find the right people to keep me in denial. And that's what's happening. The J6ers, in my opinion, are just like an alcoholic. They don't want to face their problem and deal with it. And so they're going to pick on Pam and hate Pam and tear up her childhood and all her history and get her to shut up. Because all I'm saying is I had, for myself, knew in my heart, and nobody can help me with this, that I was wrong. And I had to, and I don't know where I'm going with this one. I'm sorry. I think I got off track. We're talking about Trump.
This is very helpful. So if you could say something specifically to Trump about his role in the experience you've had, both on that day and since that day, what would you say to Trump?
Well, you're talking to a wall. I was not going to hear anything I would have to say, but I just say I'm sorry that you can't get honest with yourself. But, I've realized I've done a lot of research. And I live with narcissists. Narcissists, you can't confront them. It's an injury to them. So if I was to say anything, how I really feel like.
Well, pretend to be receptive. Just if he had to listen, what would you say?
Lying about the election. Why did you lie about it? look at Democrats don't want to lie either. They wanted the facts. If you won, we want you to win. Believe me, they were not just trying to make it like, they want to go by the rule of law. They want the election to be honest. Even right now, most of the Democrats are accepting the election that he won. They're not screaming that it was stolen. Oh, yeah, I was going to have a few people, their little conspiracy theories. Just accept it. This is the United States. If you won, you won. If you lost, you lost. But to start all of this over believing that, okay, come back and try again in 4 years. Okay, you lost. But look what happened as a result of him putting that out there. How many are in prison? Look at our nation. We're so divided. There's one person putting out lies out there and propaganda about what happened on January 6th. Why did you wait 3 hours to tell people to back off? I remember going to the Capitol Police officer and I said, why isn't Trump telling everybody to leave? My God, they're going crazy. They will listen to him. Tell him, get a hold of him. Tell him to come up here and just stand up here. Get a microphone, something to get these people to go because they're there for him, right? Why did he wait 3 hours? Why did you wait 3 hours?
And then the J6ers that, have a different point of view, what would you say to them?
About what point of view?
About, the narrative that they're putting out to the public. What would you say to them?
Well, you can see the glass half empty or half full, so we all have our own perspective on things, and I understand that. But there's a saying by Herbert Spencer, what leaves a man in everlasting ignorance is contempt prior to investigation. All I know, as long as I wanted to keep drinking and using drugs 45 years ago, I got a lot of enablers to help me stay drunk. It was when the people were honest with me and said, look, you need to get honest. You're an alcoholic, and if you don't stop, you're going to die. You're going to lose everything. And you're just not being honest with yourself, Pam. That's what I would say with them. This is between you and your higher power, or no higher power, but you got to live with this. Do you really believe you were innocent that day? Do you really believe somebody made you do this? It just sounds kind of like a teenager. Well, he made me throw the rock, I don't know.
So
I
we're going to bring
understand.
Kash on here.
Well, see, remember, I stayed in denial too.
Sure.
I was innocent. I was a victim, remember? So I get to understand the thinking.
So we're going to bring Kash on here in a minute. And obviously the two of you have been trading, back and forth on the internet. And I think it's amazing that you were willing to do this, especially since that Kash and I did a series of shows together on this. You definitely win the day for being brave enough to come on, our turf and talk to us. So, I think that that's absolutely amazing. I saw that all over the comments. People really admire that you were willing to do that. So thank you again for doing that. The idea for tonight is to, in the Christmas spirit, to be peaceful and to have a conversation, not to bicker or argue or name call or any of those things. And I talked to each of you separately, and you both were very gracious about accepting those terms. So why were you willing to do this, and what would you like to say to Kash tonight?
Well, first, I'd like to start off by making amends to him. A misunderstanding, because I've been putting up J6ers for a long time, putting a light on what they say and what the court says. And I just happened to pick a picture. And it wasn't like, oh, let's put up that he was a drug addict. I'm not a drug addict, a gang member. In Alcoholics Anonymous, I have sat next to astronauts, doctors, movie stars, bank robbers, transgender, you name it. In Alcoholics Anonymous, we're all there. We're all there. So I don't judge you for anything in your past. I feel if I hurt him that way, I apologize. Because I'm not saying because you were in your past, you were in a gang. I have very good friends that now work in correctional centers that, did a lot worse than you could think of. And they're good people. I get it. We all changed, and you're wondering how I changed, same way you did. And so I apologize for that coming out that way.
What would you like him to specifically know about your views and the awareness campaign that you've done both online and in the media?
I'm a little confused with the question.
What do you want him to know about your mission with this, the narrative that you're putting out, why you're talking to people, what message you're trying to get across, that kind of thing?
It's very similar to what I would do if I was working with an alcoholic in denial. I'm trying to put a light on the fact that they are in denial, and they're part of separating our nation by not getting honest and telling the facts about what happened on January 6th, changing the narrative, putting out that the officers, it was their fault. It was a setup. You know everything they say. It's not true. If it was true, I'd be standing with you and saying, yeah, that one part is very true. I don't like to know it's true, but when it's not true, I don't like people putting out false narratives. Nobody does. You all want to know the facts, right? So just put out the facts. I mean, but see, we've got these enablers surrounding all the J6ers because if I stayed with J6, I'd probably have so much money. I could keep my gifts in and go going. As long as I stay a victim and have all of you enable me and say, yeah, Pam, the DOJ was weaponized against you. You're 69 years old with cancer and they put you in prison. They didn't even do that to Hunter. Well, I would love it. I would just absolutely, you're right. Put me on TV shows. J6 would love me. I would have all the attention you could want. Because I've gone to I don't get that much attention. CNN, that's about it. They don't care about my story, very much. But I'm hoping that maybe one J6 defendant might want to get right with himself and God and hear me out and say, look, it's okay to get honest with yourself and admit you were wrong that day. You don't have to speak for anybody else. I'm not saying if you were right or wrong. I don't know what you did. I don't know what your thinking was, but I know I was. And I know when you're lying about what you did, that's the problem. Don't say, oh, all I did was just walk in there when you were standing on a statue. Half truths.
Well, thank you for all that. Thank you for sharing your story. Is it cool if I bring Kash on now?
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing like a Jerry Springer thing, but we're not. This is going to be educational and informational. I promise it'll be peaceful. So, Kash, welcome, buddy.
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing, Pam?
Hi, Kash.
All right. So, a couple things.
Merry Christmas to both of you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too, my bro.
I feel like I should be in between the two of you and making sure we're all getting along. But
no, we're good. We're good, man. Everybody that knows me knows I can have a conversation with anybody. That's what I do. That's what I do for a living. I talk to people. So yeah, I'm cool with that. And I appreciate you saying you want to make amends. I'm cool with that, right? But here's my thing, Pam. Here's the thing. I just sat and listened to everything that you said. Now, first off, I just want to say, I didn't even know Pam. I didn't even know you, right? I guess we did a space together and I didn't even know that you was in the space. I completely didn't know that, didn't remember. And even there, though, I don't think I've ever said anything mean to you. I didn't disrespect you in no kind of way. I didn't call you out your name. I didn't come for you at all. So then one day, I see you posted me on there and I hear what you said about, you just seen a picture, but you didn't you say that you want to, bring the truth to people and help bring them out of their delusion and get them right with God and themselves. But what you did was basically misinformation when you was talking about me. You never heard me say that I'm innocent in January 6th or that I don't take accountability for my actions that day or me blame anybody else. In fact, the very first thing that I said when I got home from prison and in prison while I did interviews is that I'm accountable for my actions. I don't blame Trump. I don't blame the mob or me following the mob mentality. I don't blame anybody. I blame Kash because I made my own decisions and I stand on them. Right. So for you to come out and then say the things that you said about me, I was shocked. And then when I did respond, it's like, dang, now you really going, you start going in. And I'm like, what the hell is the problem here? So then I started doing research on you. And I found all types of stuff. Like I was writing down when you were talking of things that you said that just aren't true. So this is my question. Are you telling the truth? Is this really what you just said right now, this whole interview? The things that you're saying, you believe those things? You believe that that you didn't know that you couldn't go in the Capitol? You believe that the police officers didn't tell you? Like what did you think when you seen a barricade? I didn't see barricades when I was there. I didn't see not one barricade. When I got there, barricades was down and people were already right there. I was on the west side, not the east side. There was no sign saying that I couldn't be there. I didn't know I couldn't be there because people that went with you tore down the barricades before I got there. And then when you say you didn't know what to expect that day, that you didn't know about the violence that was going to happen, but yet you made a post holding a big ass gun.
That's a toy gun.
Regardless.
New Year's Eve.
I understand. I understand that.
Everybody puts up pictures with guns. Don't
No,
they?
I understand, but it's not that. It's the caption that came with it, Pam. It was the caption that came with it.
I was MAGA.
I understand, but
right.
I'm not. I understand that. I get that. But what I'm saying is that inspires people that may have taken you serious, and not just as, oh, it's New Year's Eve and this is a toy gun. No, this is a message. Okay, I need to rally up. We need to get to DC on January 6th.
Didn't Trump say that too?
Right, but Trump didn't say to prepare for war.
He didn't. Fight like hell.
Yeah, that's for our country, not a physical fight. And when if you were there, were you there?
Don't put words in my mouth. I said on a TV station, you listened to it. I said, I don't like the word war, and I used it. It's a political war, and that's out there. Everybody says war. Everybody says fight back. We shouldn't be using those words because it's misinterpreted and it's twisted.
Right. They mistook what you said, correct?
Right. If you want to just make me out as a liar about everything.
No. That's not all. That's not at all what I'm trying to
you out as a liar.
Well,
I'm not trying to make you as a liar.
Hold on one second here. Hold on one second.
Let me make this point. This is what I'm saying, Pam. If they can mistake your words of what you said, because you know what you meant. You didn't mean actual war, right?
I'm not in court. My prosecutor
Trump also didn't mean a real physical fight. That's my whole point.
Trump had a plan, you know it, with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers.
Go ahead, Free.
You already know that.
Yeah. Well, so Pam, I just want to make sure you know that, if you want me to step in, you guys are conversing and I don't want to get involved in that. But if you want to step in, if you want me to step in, I'm happy to at any time. Give me a hand sign or something like that. But if you guys are talking, I don't want to interfere in the middle of that. And then Kash, I don't know if you saw my message, but you've got like a little bit of interference on your mic. I don't know what it is, but it's got like a little chirping going on or something like that. So
I think Kash needs to get rid of his ego, thinking that I picked him out to be the movie star. I've done it with Mickey, Ashley Babbitt's mother. I'm against that. I speak up. I think she's not a victim. I think she was a volunteer that day. I got a hashtag F Pam Hemphill. I didn't pick you. And if I misrepresented it in any way, I apologize. But the fact that you went out there and you were saying you had videos, that's what triggered me, that you're not going to share them yet. Well, the FBI came to me and mine were in the bank and they sent me a warrant. Because you have to be honest with the FBI and tell them if you got videos. Everybody probably has videos from that day. I said, of course, I put them in the bank because chemotherapy, my memory was bad. So I had to hide them in the bank so I don't lose them. And so it's like everything I say is twisted and you're a liar and you're.
Well, it's going to obviously be tough that, you're now, kind of on the other team, basically, for, the majority of these people believed in this so much that they, went through the punishment that they went through and are still pro-Trump and still believe in the mission of that day. So you're going to be a lightning rod when you go against that.
Stolen, I get it. But we have already proven that it wasn't stolen. So why hang on to that? Why keep saying that? The election was not stolen. I mean, it's facts out there. Why? You know why? Because you don't want to look at yourself. And I get it. I didn't want to look at me either. I wanted to stay the victim, and the DOJ and the FBI is after Pam Hemphill. Oh, yeah, really. Give me a break. They don't care about me. They didn't pick on me. I was there. I broke the law. It's really that damn simple. I mean, I don't know how much more simple it could be. Okay. Yes, all the stuff they say about me with Ammon Bundy and when I was, that's proof that I had the brainwashing going on. I had been gaslighted. I'd been given false information. So I'm acting on that. Look at, I love this country. And when they said that the Democrats were going to make it a communist country, I'm going down there. I'm going to support all the patriots that are trying to save this country. And they're drinking blood and all the stuff, the lies they put out there about Democrats. I believed you guys. I even believed that they didn't believe in God. Do you know how many friends I have today, a Democrat, that are more Christian than I'll ever be? They're Christians. Let me just tell you one thing quickly. Look at, you don't have to be for the gay community. You don't have to believe in abortion. That's okay. What I stand for is that I want you to have the right to have that. I don't have any business telling you how to live your life in your bedroom or if you should have a baby or not. I am not God. How dare I decide what you need to do? And this is why I'm mad at the J6 and the Republicans, because they're trying to stop, even Yeshua said, do not judge, do not bear false witness. He said, love your neighbor above all else, no matter what they're doing. Love them, pray for them. We're not perfect.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We lost Pam for a second, but now she's back. Pam, you're
Okay.
muted now. I can't hear you. Pam, are you there? We lost you for a second. I think we can hear you now. Can you say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
I don't see me. Little piece here. But anyway,
All right. So you said you could hear me, right, bro?
I
can't
can hear you now.
him.
Yep.
I don't
Can you hear
uh,
Cash, Pam?
Can you hear me, Pam?
I don't hear Cash.
Okay, it's okay. So here's my thing, right?
The audio got
Again.
funky for a second there, and now
I had a phone call, so I forgot to take the phone off.
that's
So
all right.
am I good?
I think she's trying it again.
I'm looking for my cord. My mic isn't. My mic ain't. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hold on. I'm good.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think she's entering and re-entering here. Let's give her a second. Thanks everybody for being here yet again. And thanks for letting me talk to Pam first. I think that was an enlightening conversation. Please share this if you haven't already. We want to get as many people in here as possible to hear this. And Pam is back. Now I can't hear you, Cash.
I apologize. A phone call came in and I forgot to turn it off.
No, that happens. Cash, I can't hear you though.
No, I don't hear Cash either.
Yeah, Cash, if you're playing a joke on me, it's not funny. We did this last night on the
Can you hear me?
So now I can hear you.
Okay.
Pam, can you hear Cash?
Yeah, I think so. Say something, Cash.
Yo.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so here's my thing, right? I didn't hear what was going on while I was away. So I have my, obviously my headphones. So I don't know everything that Pam said, but hearing you say again that people's rights. First off, I ain't got nothing against gay people. That's what you want to do. That's what you do. And that was I've seen that post that you made saying that I'm against I never said anything that I was against the LGBTQ
Making
community.
fun of him.
That's making fun of a person, not a whole community. I'm making fun of that guy.
You don't play God and say it was a sin to be gay. It's not a sin.
I didn't say it was a sin to be gay.
But they tried to set him up like that preacher.
I didn't say that. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you put yourself in a public setting, public ridicule can come, especially if you have a title. His title was what? Pastor. So as a pastor, I mean, are you a Christian, Pam?
I follow Yeshua.
So you believe in what Yeshua teaches?
I don't like the Christians today, the white nationalists.
Totally understand. But you believe in what Jesus, Yeshua teaches, right?
Yeah, I wish I could hold up to it more.
We all do. So here's my thing. You say you're for the rights of people. People have freedom of speech. He had the freedom of speech to tell that man what it says in the Bible or what Yeshua taught. No. Yeshua was a Jew. And as
he loved the gay people. He would love them today.
He loved everybody.
Yes.
It doesn't mean he don't call out sin.
No, it's not
According
my
to-
job. It's not
according
our
to
job.
religion.
We take our own
I'm not saying,
inventory.
look, I'm not saying that that's our job. I'm saying what that guy did. What that guy did on that podcast.
Shaming.
Jesse Peterson. But that's
All I
his
know
thing.
is I've had more friends that are atheists that helped me in my life than I had any Christian.
I feel that. I understand that.
And I
But
have gay friends, a lot of them that love
I
me.
get it. But my whole thing is, Pam, you're saying that I don't like gay people now. That's another
No, that's
misinformation.
what it,
I
I'm
made a
sorry.
joke about a man.
I guess I got my feelings hurt that he was put on like that. He was a good man. He's a
So
good man.
what about the feelings of the people like myself that you're putting out there as if we did something that's so horrible? I didn't do nothing violent. They charged me with violent entry and disturbing Congress while in session. And then when I would not accept those charges, they offered me a plea deal a year and a half later for picketing and parading, which I said, that's what I did. That's what I'm guilty of. I'll accept that plea. But you put me out there as if I'm lying.
So
as
you
if I
don't
did
still
something wrong.
support all the J6ers and the DOJ is not weaponized against us? Do you think the DOJ is weaponized against us?
I believe the DOJ was weaponized against us.
In
As
what
far
way?
as now, I don't. What do you mean? In what way?
Yeah,
BLM.
well,
Here, I'll give you an example. In 2020, I covered BLM and Antifa flipping cop cars over, setting fires to federal buildings, unaliving people. There was murders committed in Portland.
what about the umbrella man?
Where was the
breaking
mass
windows
arrest?
and he was mega.
But do you hear what
What
I'm
about
saying,
all the
Pam?
people that went there and made Black Lives Matter look
Miss
bad?
Pam, you asked me a question. I'm responding to you.
And officers that could not come to court with any evidence. You don't
Pam.
have that side of the story out there.
Pam, you asked me a question. I'm giving you my answer.
Well, it's
I
all
covered these-
propaganda.
I covered these stories. They're not propaganda.
Yes, they
I
are.
covered them. They
Let's
didn't
have
go
a
to
debate
prison.
on it one night then.
Well, here you said you
I'll
also
bring my facts.
okay. Well, you also said that there was no Antifa or BLM that was arrested that day at January 6th. Also a lie. I was locked up with BLM and Antifa, or I'm not BLM. I apologize. Antifa. There was people that was Antifa that was pretending to be MAGA that was in our pod.
Well, how
had
do
to be
we have
removed.
evidence of that? That could be
I
propaganda.
lived it. We had them removed from the pod. Not just that, the man that caught Ashley Babbitt, rest in peace to Ashley Babbitt, that caught the video of her getting shot was Jaden X, who was allegedly too radical for BLM. What was he doing inside the Capitol? And you just said that there was no one there. He didn't get arrested after the Capitol.
Well, there's
He
no
didn't get
court.
arrested until long after, and he's got a record this long.
Well, there's no court records where they had
There
a
is
back.
for records.
Show me. I'd love to see that. I've asked the sedition hunters. They don't have anything on that. But it still makes it sound like we're trying to excuse what we did because there were Antifa there. There were Black Lives Matter. There were informants. Oh, that made it
No.
okay for me to break the law then.
It's not.
Right.
That's not what it is. You're
What is
you're
it?
saying that you're standing on truth and you're telling lies.
So
up
what
here.
is it? Is it not an excuse?
I don't
my
have an excuse.
behavior?
I don't have an excuse for me
So
at all.
what? What if we
I
had
did it 'cause I
1,000?
wanted to. I did what I did because look at me. I did what I did because I wanted to do it.
Yeah, we had a
Simple.
choice.
I wanted to go to the Capitol. I wanted to protest, and I wanted to do a sit-in inside the Capitol. That's what I wanted to do.
Because you
I
believe the
wanted
election
to.
was stolen, right?
I'm sorry.
You believe the election was stolen, right?
Oh, that was just the tip of the iceberg for me. I study politics.
So he
I was
lied to
looking at the world. It was
He
more
lied
than just. It was if people showed up there simply just for the election, I'm cool with that too. But for me, it was far deeper than that. For
Just
me, I
thinking
watched
we-
our country. I watched us be put down on lockdown. Because they said COVID was out here tearing everybody's lives apart and people was dying in mass numbers, but yet they allowed these people to go out dressed in black with masks and parade through the streets, burn down businesses, destroy people's communities. That's the truth. Out here in Chicago, what happened? They went down Michigan Ave and they destroyed buildings. They mass looted and destroyed buildings, black-owned businesses all throughout this country. Happened in Michigan. It happened in
does that-
Wisconsin. It happened in
But
Minnesota.
how does that account for hitting an officer?
I didn't
what
hit
does
no
that have
officer.
to
I'm
do
talking
with-
about me. I'm not talking
mean-
about them. I'm talking about Cash. You asked me why I went there, and I'm telling you, it had
But
to
what
do
does
with
the
all
Black
of those
Lives
things.
Matter riot have to do with January 6th? It's a diversion to get
It's
off of
not a
what happened.
diversion. It was an opportunity for us to go out and make our voices heard through
Yeah, just-
protest.
Can you imagine if we all sat down with our Bibles and just prayed that day? What the nation would have looked like in the whole
Hey,
world?
I mean,
That's all we did.
If
Because
it
that's
was a
what
fifth,
Yeshua
if it was
teaches
a
us to
fifth, we'd
do.
all be
He
drunk.
teaches us to turn the other cheek and sit down and walk away. No, we have to push barriers. We got to push officers.
I didn't push the barrier, Pam.
I'm not talking about you. I said we collectively.
Yeah,
Everybody.
y'all, not me. Y'all did that. I didn't
Quit
do
taking
that.
quit taking it personal. I'm not talking about you.
Well, it feels very personal with all the things that you were saying about me, you know, and then knowing everything. This is Pam, you know what it really is? What really got me, Pam?
Nash. No, look at all I said is I know what I did. I put up the court record and your statement. I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
did. It's captioned. It's captioned on there of what you said. You called me
What
evil in your
about it?
last post. You literally called me evil. You called me a gangbanger in your video where you were sitting right where you're at right now at a table. You called me or no, you were outside. You called me a gangbanger. You said all types of stuff.
That wasn't nice.
But I'm not a gangbanger. I actually help get kids out of
Well,
gangs.
I apologize.
Grown men, I pulled them out of gangs.
Say things I regret later, so I apologize for saying that.
For sure, I appreciate it, you know. But this is the whole point of what I'm trying to say, though, Pam. It's like, how many other people are you doing that to, and you don't know them? Like a lot of them guys that you put up, I know personally, and they're good men, and they're paying for their crimes. So why punish them and smear them, and they can't defend themselves? They can't defend themselves. What if their sons or their daughters come across your post one day, Pam, and they see that what you're saying about their father, who's already away? He's not going to be.
I'm not saying anything. The court is, and
why are you putting them out there? What's the purpose behind it? Why are you putting these men that can't defend themselves, that are locked away, paying for their crime? Why are you smearing them like that? What do you gain from it? Why?
That you call that smear? What you've done to me is not. That's not.
It is. I definitely was smearing you. I 100% was.
Yeah, I'm going to rebuttal that one. Some stuff you don't know, but anyway, this is what I'm doing to make amends. Is put a light on the truth. And when you're lying about what you did on January 6th, I'm going to show what you really did. If I was out there saying, "Now, I didn't break the law. They pushed me into the Capitol. It wasn't my fault." You're going to show the video where I wasn't pushed in. You're going to put a light on my lies, which you've been trying to do.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm doing. It's fair game to get the facts out there about what Jay Sixer really did. So we got a video on Jake Lane. You can see the video where he's happy what he did. He broke through the glass, he admits opening the door.
That one you ain't gonna get no
money he's making.
You're not gonna get no dispute.
You're dividing our nation by being dishonest about what you did that day. Not you personally, but collectively did that day on January 6th. We're not going to bring this nation back together. We got to find a way. We got to get a middle ground going here somehow, not putting Pam out there and smearing her whole childhood.
Well, it's not that. I wasn't trying to smear your childhood. They just brought videos of you talking, and I listened.
What about it? What does the childhood have to do with me?
I feel you. But again, when you say all these things, Pam, the police, I watched the video, the police cam and your footage of the police telling you to go. First, you said you didn't know you couldn't be in there, but you pushed past the barricades and you continue to go.
No, I didn't push back. Read my court.
You ran, you dodged. Look, you hit the Jeep on that cop, and then you went that way. And then here, let me get my thought. I haven't been interrupting you. Let me get my thought out, please. So you go. Let's say for argument's sake, you got pushed past the barriers, right? You go past the police, and then you're on the stairs. Police told you to sit right there.
No.
Hold on. You went up, and the female police officer's telling you can't be here.
Did you hear me? I could not breathe.
Go. I understand.
I could not breathe.
They still said she gave you instructions. She said the ambulance is over that way. Right. You need to go over there, not in here. You can't be here. So then when the mob pushes past the police and you're there and you can't breathe, you somehow find the breath to get up and go inside the Capitol.
No, I sat there for 20 minutes till I could get my air back.
But do you see what I'm saying? How it looks compared to what's.
But you got to remember, my head was stepped on. Do you know what happens to your brain when your head's stepped on?
Oh yeah, I've been jumping into a game.
When their heads are shake, when you shake a baby's head, my brain was not okay. I'm not using it for excuse, but it wasn't. They stepped on it, broke my glasses, stepped on my back here, pulled my shoulder, cut my knee. They pushed me towards an officer. Instead of falling on him, I put myself backwards and I landed on the steps. And I got stepped on. The officers picked me up, put me behind them, That female officer told me to leave. I couldn't leave. I couldn't move. If I could have moved, I would have moved, but I can't get air. I should have been, taken to the hospital. But
Did you think that going there on January 6th was going to be fun?
from the events that I had been to here in Boise, Idaho, that was night and day. Yes, I thought it would be great to be around other patriots talking.
Well, then, again, why on December
But no
28th make a
violence.
post and say it is not going to be fun? If you think that January
Yeah.
6th is going to be fun, it's not going to be fun. I'm calling on millions of Americans to show up. It's going to be war.
Yeah, political war.
But do you see what I'm saying here, though, Pam? You knew all of these things was possible of happening. You seen what happened at the Capitol in Boise. So why show up there thinking that anything other on a bigger scale?
Well, that was people's rights. I didn't think, I always looked up to everybody else. I didn't think.
And then
people-
being out on January 5th, seeing how many people were there. That was far more than what was at Boise just on January 5th. You didn't think that they was going to show up and you see people in the crowd trying to do what they was trying to do? When you got up to the gates, when you got up to the barrier, you didn't think,
Yeah.
oh shit, it's getting real. Let me turn my ass back around because this is getting, I don't want to be there.
Yeah, I'm ashamed of that. I'm saying push. That's how you get when you're hanging out with Ammon Bundy. I'm ashamed of that. Should never said something like that. I'm lucky I didn't get more time.
So let me ask a question because Pam made a good point. So what do we do to peacefully move forward? There probably are some pardons coming down, and how do we get past this? How do we peacefully coexist going forward? I'll let Pam go first.
What is this saying? Live and let live. I think Kash needs to continue what he's doing. I continue what I'm doing. We don't have to agree. We're not supposed to. It's okay. Some things I agree with the J6 and some I don't. And be true to yourself. Be honest with you. I don't want to influence anybody and say, hey, you need to blah, blah, blah. I think I need to look at myself and do an inventory. But I need to stay. I'm going to stay on my course. You stay on your course. Well, let's just keep really trying to pray for some facts and truths to come out on both sides, though, when we're both wrong.
Okay, that's fair. I can give it that.
Smear campaigns stuff and bringing up they got pictures of my family. Come on.
I feel that.
There are lies out there, and I'm going to debunk them.
So I'll say this. I mean, for me, I could coexist with anybody as long as you're not attacking me or my family. I'm cool. I don't get into it with nobody really. I chill, man. I get online and make my content. That's
Yeah,
something.
but you've got my
completely
whole
different.
story, my whole childhood, everything.
Yeah, I
And
was upset.
twisted.
I was upset, Pam. I was really upset to see, and then to see what you were saying, with the
Called
Ashley
me the
Savage.
C word.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not the clean cut black dudes that you see on the news. I'm a regular average dude out here. You feel me? But
I like you.
well,
I
I
don't think you're
appreciate
that
that.
bad.
You
No,
seem very
You're in
pleasant
denial
today.
like all the J6ers, but you're not.
Hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I gotta ask you a question, Pam. I really do. I gotta ask you a question because you brought up something when you were talking. You were talking about Russia and the Russia collusion, right?
Russian propaganda.
Right. You know about the Steele dossier, right?
No, I'm not.
Where the whole
schooled.
Russia thing came from?
No, I'm not schooled enough to talk on that.
Okay, well,
We have to have love parties.
that's where that all came from. The Russian propaganda and all of that. That's all where that came from. And it was a lie that was fabricated. And it came out. They sat in Congress and blew this thing all the way up.
No, I
that it
can't
was
debate
fake.
you. Don't go there. It's not fair because I'm not schooled.
I understand, but the reason why I'm saying that is because you said, educate each other and try to bring out the truth. So I just wanted you to know that you're believing a democratic lie. And why I say democratic is because it was fabricated by Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton fabricated that. The whole Steele dossier was false. It's been proven, debunked. Even Snopes will admit it now.
Of course it has, because you guys put out propaganda lies.
No, the left did. The left put it out. If you go on Snopes, which is a liberal fact checker, they will tell you that it's a hoax. It's fake. It's not real.
Read that book.
No, I'm good. I'm okay.
The attack from within. It's attack. Putting out all this stuff from, I believe it, I'm accountable. I read it and see who the author is. I don't look up the journalists and see where their motive is. Why are they putting that out there? So I bought everything. It's like, yeah, the lecture was
I
gold.
hear you. But now, Pam, I fear that you're doing the same thing on the other side because you came
No,
out.
I
When I
think-
seen you praise, this is what got me, Pam. When I seen you come out and praise Joe Biden, that
Yes.
shocked the shit out of me.
Why? He's a good man. He's not
I
perfect.
don't. I honestly, I don't know if you're for real sometimes or if you're trolling. Because I'm like, yo, maybe she's trolling because
What's wrong with Joe Biden? What's wrong with him? What? Well, just one thing. One. The way he's older and he talks sometimes. I mean, we're too harsh on people, don't you think? We're just a little too judgmental, pick on every little thing on somebody. We have to have room for grace and understanding that nobody's perfect.
you
Joe
know my
Biden-
uncle.
but he's had the people in mind.
My uncle
caring
did
about the
25
people.
years. My uncle did 25 years in prison based off of a crime bill that Joe Biden authored. That was totally against black people. It was a target on black people. The war
How
on
long ago was
drugs.
that?
The war on drugs, fabricated towards black communities, basically.
Hmm.
And that was Joe Biden.
We'll have to
Joe
look.
Biden sat in Congress and said the N word with the hard R.
Hmm.
Joe Biden did that. Joe Biden said he didn't want his children going to school in a racial jungle. Joe
You talking
Biden,
about 80s, 1980s?
whenever, even still.
Well-
Okay, well, here we'll go to Obama. He went
Well-
to Obama and said that
Well, so
Obama
let's
is the
say-
first.
Let's say, well, Kash
on.
was a gangster.
No.
long
Here,
time ago.
Pam. Here.
Oh, he might have
Here.
been so in the
Pam,
past. What about
Pam.
that now?
He said that Obama, while he was vice president, that Obama was the first clean and articulate black man that he had ever met.
I gotta look this up. I'll fact check it.
You're gonna be shocked.
Don't believe
And that
anything
lets you
coming out of
know-
somebody's mouth until you fact check it.
No, he said it. It's him.
I'll find out.
Oh, you mean, okay, I get what you mean.
Everybody
You're not
tells
engaged.
me this stuff. That's how I got caught up.
I got you. Now,
And then I go
just for the
fact
record-
check it, and there's no
Just for the
record.
record, just for the record, just so you know, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not a conservative. I do not like the Republican Party. I do not like the Democratic Party. That there are some Democrats that I do like, but I don't agree with anybody across the board. So I needed you to know that about me because you put it out there that I'm just some crazy MAGA. No, I'm MAGA because it's America first. Now, when people think about MAGA, and this is why this is the issue that I got with a lot of the things that you say. When you put out the people to represent MAGA that look like the worst of the worst, instead of putting out good like me. Now, I guarantee you go into my history and you look at my transformation. I'm proud of my past. I'm very proud of my past because it got me to where I am today with the understanding that I have to be able to do the things that I do. I'm not ashamed of my past at all.
Me
At
either.
all. Because I should be dead. I shouldn't even be here.
Kash, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this account keeps sending money, so I figured I'd throw this question out there. Are you against BLM, and does that impede your ability to speak about black people?
BLM ain't for black folks, bro. This has already done came out. I don't got to be a part of BLM to be for people. All right. First off, I don't represent black folks. I don't represent white folks. I represent myself and my family and good people around me that I see fit to defend. All right. I don't speak for nobody based off of their color. That's stupid. That's just dumb.
Well, you said
I
you
don't-
hate white liberal women.
No, I rephrased it. I don't like crazy leftist women. Liberal women,
Like
I met some good liberal women. So I retract that.
Okay.
But when my man keep it to yourself comes in here and says things like that, this is probably somebody who lives in the black community or in a black community and don't do shit for the community. Sits here and critiques me. I do for my community, whether they be black, white, brown, red, yellow, it doesn't matter. I do for my community. I'm a man of action. Hence January 6th. I'm a man of action. I don't sit here and just talk to talk. I do things, bro. I do what I do.
Well,
So keep it to yourself. You know.
inside the criminal mind, the criminals try to make themselves a good person. You know that.
You say what?
They try to give an image that they're good people.
Yeah, that's what this dude's doing, talking about supporter of black
No,
folks.
you.
No,
You
no,
keep
I'm
saying
not
I'm
a
a good person, believe me. No,
who. I'm a
we
good
know
person.
that.
I'm
We
not a
try
good
to,
person.
we
I'm a
try to
horrible
show
person.
that.
Yeah, I try
I
to
do
show.
action. I do all these good things. Why do you
That's
have
what I
to?
do.
You know,
That's
my supposed to say, go clean the washer and dryer in your apartment, and don't tell anybody you did it. Don't tell anybody what a good person you are. Just do it. Don't keep it a secret. Then
No,
you're
I'm not
good
a.
person.
Listen, let me tell you
Don't
something, Pam. Let
put
me tell you
that out
something.
there.
Let me tell you something.
Yes,
In America, we can say whatever the hell we want to.
I know, but you're trying to make yourself out to be a good person.
No,
Be a
see, this is
cunt
how I know,
and
Pam. You
F
haven't
word.
watched anything that I say. Anybody that watches me will tell you when somebody says, Cash, you're a good man, you know what I tell them?
Everybody
No,
says
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a really horrible man. And if you knew my whole past, you would know that I'm a horrible man. I'm just trying real hard to do good. And any good that you see me do isn't Cash doing it. That comes from God.
there's not
You-
one without sin, not one. Not one.
100%. Exactly my point, Pam. That's my point. Ain't nothing good about me. Everything that you see good in me comes from God because I'm a very horrible person, which is why I could get on here and if you when you pissed me off and I called you a cunt or whatever I called you, that's Cash.
Well, we
That's
don't
me.
need to put ourselves down. People do enough of that. Stop it. Stop putting yourself down.
Let me ask a question here to maybe change up the subject a little bit. But Pam, what do you think about people who say America first? How do you react to that sentiment?
Part of me understands that I live by the homeless. I see the homeless. Oh my God. You know, it breaks your heart. It breaks my heart. They come by me and I have to give them a cigarette, coat. And what are we doing for these people? But at the same time, this world is our neighbor. The world belongs to all of us. We don't own, the United States doesn't belong to me and to us. It belongs to the world. And so does France, and so does Germany. God loves everybody in the whole world. What's that song? You know, let's bring some love to this world.
Sounds good.
When it is true though, you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first if you're going to try to help somebody on the airplane. You got to take care of your own. But let's do community. Let's go back to our community. I wish I had some influence. We would be down here helping these homeless people right now. They're coming by and seeing me every day. You know, I don't know what to say. It's
Wow.
not right to think that we don't want to be a self-centered nation. We got to show that we love the world and we care about people and that we don't want these wars. We
Don't
don't
you
want
think we
people.
do that? We do that. That's
Then
not our
support
problem.
Ukraine.
The
Stop this
problem
Russian
here,
commie
Pam, check
fascist
this out. Our problem
Putin.
isn't with helping other people. America historically has always and will always
We
help
will.
other nations. The
Yeah.
problem is we have people sitting in the in Congress and in the White House right now that care more about other people than their own, which is why you see all them homeless out there on the street, which is why you see
That's
our borders wide
community.
open,
No,
which is
that's
why you
community.
see prisons filled up.
No, put it back on your community. It's your community's fault.
No, it's not. When
Yes,
you
it
have a
is.
vet that fought in wars, come home and be homeless and can't get no help, that is a direct result of our government. That ain't got nothing to do with
Wait,
community.
wait,
That comes from our
Okay,
government. They fought for our
71 years
government. Our
old.
government should be fighting for them.
Remember, when I'm young, you know how the homeless got taken care of was by the community and the churches. There was no help from the government. We need to go back to that, where we are individually helping our community, me, you, taking those food down there, giving them clothes, not waiting for the
100%.
government to support us.
You're right.
Put the love back into our neighbor, not the
That is
world.
true. I'll
We
agree with
can't-
that.
And the government needs to improve, of course, but that's our fault. I used to just vote. If it had an R on it, I voted. I didn't know who they were. I
I've
had
never done that. I
Well,
won't ever. I
there's a
voted
lot.
for a couple of Democrats in this past election for my city.
So Pam, what do you think about protests going forward? Do you think that people should still gather and assemble and protest, or do you think that that's something that shouldn't be done after January 6th and the consequences from January 6th?
I'm sure Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks thought about that, didn't they? But they did the right thing. And if you do the right thing, it'll be all right. So each person has to decide, no matter what, you do stand up for the right thing. And a peaceful, isn't that our Constitution, the right to assembly peacefully? And that's what he did. He assembled peacefully. Now, a lot of people got hurt and killed during the, Martin Luther King. But they did the right thing, and look how it turned out. So if we do the right thing, and if it's protesting, like I said, I just wished we had all sat that day with the Bible and prayed and got on our knees. Did you imagine the world seeing a million? How many people were there on the ground, on their knees, holding the Bible, praying, not touching one officer, not hurting nobody? We're just praying for that Congress to do the right thing. My God, the world would just be flipping out. But no, they see us hitting cops. They see us breaking the window, go in the bathroom inside the Capitol. No wonder they're upset.
So I'm hearing all of this. I've never heard you.
We
I've
don't
never
do
heard
that.
you. I've never heard you speak like this. So I got a question. With all of that being said, are you gonna stop posting J6ers talking
no.
crazy about them because you just sat up here and talked about God and not judging people, and we don't have the right to judge and all of those things? Are you
No.
gonna stop judging them?
No, those are facts. That's all I'm putting. It's not my personal opinion, except for when you're lying, I'm going to put a light on your lie. That's all. Tell me it's not a lie then.
But you
I'll
made a
tell you
mistake.
what, I'll
You made a
put out
mistake
a
about me and you
J6er.
lied.
No, I'll put a J6er, get him on here with me, and I'll read what he did and let him tell you what he did. I mean, they told me
That
what they
could
did.
go the same way about with you, Pam.
No,
of what
wait,
you
wait,
say
wait.
you did compared to what is written down that you did.
Now remember, I had all of them calling me. They told me what they did. And then I
Pam,
find out what they did.
Pam,
So the
I read
stories
your
aren't
statement of
matching.
facts. I've read it all. What you say you did and what is written down is two different things. Two different things, Pam.
You're talking about J6 criminal, what their crime was, right? Their crime.
It doesn't
what they
matter.
did.
You just said you'll read what they said that they did and let them tell you what they did. When you tell me what you did compared to what is written down that you did is two
Yeah.
different things, Pam.
Well, yeah, but let me give you an example. Militant, they just went and she just got sent to prison. Her and her husband called me, and she had not touched an officer, period. That's not true. She did. She grabbed his arm. I saw the video. I saw the pictures.
That's
So
a
I
pivot.
don't like that's like me telling you, oh, I didn't break a window, and you got a picture of me breaking the window. That's what I will go after. No, I will not stop. Sorry. My boyfriend can't even tell me what to do. But if you say that, if I lie that they broke a window when they never did break a window, you should call me out on that. I appreciate it because I'll apologize.
But
But
what
if they
about
broke
your
a window
own self?
and they're
So
saying
let me
they
ask you this.
didn't break a window,
Can I ask you this then? With what's written down that the government said that you did, and the story that you tell is very different than what the story is they tell. Are you lying or are they lying?
you know how they word it? You read yours, how they put the word.
They were right. Everything in mine is correct.
My lawyer went to them and said, I think this needs to be changed. And they did. Because some wasn't correct. It just wasn't.
Pam, it's public record right now. I could pull it up and read it to you.
I know it got changed, but now, yeah, everything on there is honest and true. Yes, I'm saying in the beginning.
Okay.
So you have to write down your answer to everyone they're accusing you.
No.
I did.
No.
I did. I had to.
Look, I've been through the federal system too, Pam, and that's not how that works.
I had to write it all down. What do you mean? Am I lying?
Yeah, I get that. But what is written is what is written. It is not changed. It is still, I just literally read it like 3 days ago, Pam. 3 days ago, yours. It is public record. And what you say you did isn't what is written on that paper. Okay. So are they lying? Are they lying or are you lying?
No, people, listen, even you say things different than what it's written. You can't.
Everything that they wrote about me on that paper.
You're trying to do.
Every single thing that they wrote about me on that paper is true.
Is it? I'd have to have it in front of me
yes.
And I'll read it and say, yeah, that's true. And I read the second one and I told my lawyer, I don't believe this is how it happened. I read it. I said, yes, that's how it happened. I read
digress.
something else. I said, no, I don't agree with that. But I was in a lot of denial too. I didn't agree with everything they wrote. What's wrong with that? Even if it's true, because I had put this bubble around me, trying to deny that I was
I
wrong
feel
with
like
it.
you still have that bubble around you though, Pam. That's my whole point.
Well, that's your opinion. So,
You know, I mean, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being honest. Like when I'm
Well-
listening to you and I'm asking you, are you gonna stop doing what you're doing about these guys? And you're saying no.
No.
If it's written right here and it says that they did it until they don't
No.
admit it, but they did. You just did it right now. You just did it literally right now. So are you gonna hold yourself accountable? Are you gonna start smearing your putting up your own
what
article?
you're doing is crazy making, so I'm really confused what the question, I really am, because
Okay, here's my question. I'll ask
criminal
you.
minds are good at this. You're really good at crazy making. So
I'm not a criminal, Pam.
it's like an entrapment. I got you.
No,
It's
it's not an I got you. It's
You're
fair. It's a
lying.
fair question. You just said,
Okay, say it again.
okay, with what you just got done saying, right? You said
No, don't go there.
J
What's the question?
Sixers. Are you going to hold yourself to the same standard that you're holding them as far as when you read what is written down about what you did compared to how you explain it? Because you said they don't explain it the way that it's written down. But then when I ask you about yourself, you say, well, you know how they write stuff down and they word it. But it's okay for you, but not for them to say, no, this is written down wrong.
Oh, I think I see what you're trying to say. You're saying what they wrote down in their court records could not be really what happened. Is that what you're saying?
Eureka.
So,
And it happened to you. That's the crazy part. You just admitted that it happened to you, that they wrote down stuff and it's not how it happened. And you just
okay, so I'll just stick with stuff that they have evidence about then. Okay, let's do that. 'Cause you're right. Because they had evidence.
But that's not fair either, Pam, because they use evidence against you of your own Facebook post, which they also misinterpreted.
No, they didn't. Everything was right. What they said about me was true.
So you didn't mean political war. You meant you were inciting people to go
Oh,
there
they
for
didn't
war.
use that against me. They just
Yes, they did.
No, not really.
They did. It's literally in your discovery.
Yeah, I know, but everybody says it's a war.
But it's
And I'm
evidence.
holding
I'm not disagreeing with you. But again,
it was a war.
can it
wasn't
be the same exact
Wasn't
thing?
it a political war going on?
Can't it be the same exact thing for these other defendants? They're using their evidence and they're writing it down wrong. It didn't happen the way that it really happened. They wrote it down this way. And the evidence that they're using, they're misinterpreting on purpose to get people to go on X and make posts about them.
But see, what I'm saying is because when I was reading it back then, I was in denial. So I wasn't honest with myself.
So let me jump in with a question here. Pam, do you see any problems with our current elections, or do you think that they're infallible?
You know, I'm really not schooled enough. I'm trying to research all this and both sides. Nobody's, I don't know which side. Sometimes it's being on side. You got to research the researchers. But let's find out. I'm hoping that we're trying to find a solution to this because you and I both, I mean, if Trump won, great. That's good. Okay. We want to live in that kind of world. We don't want to like it. I don't want Biden or Trump to be president, but I want the truth, right? You want your vote to be real. So let's
but you're open to the idea that there might be problems with our elections.
I don't know. I can't give an answer. I don't know. I hear things, but
You have an open mind about it is really what I'm asking.
But the minute I put it out there, yes, we have problems, then somebody goes, oh, we do? I put it in somebody's head. Let's bring something forward first. Some facts. Because I could mislead somebody into believing elections have a problem. I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask that question. You'd have to ask, who are the people to ask? Legislators? I mean, tell me.
I got a question, Pam. Do you
Because
think
I'm not political. I'm an alcohol and drug counselor. I'm not into politics.
Do you think that I'm evil?
No. Well, yeah. Sometimes I think you're evil, and a lot of people are evil. What is evil?
I don't know. You called me evil. That's why I was asking. Why, by your definition of evil, am I evil?
I apologize for that.
I appreciate it.
But
And I, you know what? I'm not just gonna have you do that. I apologize for the disrespectful names that I called you that were outside of, you know, the realm of what I should have been talking about, like we are right now about the January 6th and what you said and things like that. Any of the hurtful names that I called you were trying to insult you for that. I apologize. I'll apologize.
thank you. You know, if we try not to go below the belt, we could probably get some kind of closure, something going between both sides. If we just don't go below the
That's what it
belt.
should be.
You're
That's a
lying.
great point, Pam. Where would you like to see this go?
We need a panel. We need a panel on both sides with facts, not character assassination. Oh, you know how we all do that. I'm guilty too. I do, and it's wrong. We're going the wrong direction. How to deal with all this? We really are. We're picking on people's character. I mean that. Well, I don't know. I just come from, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous. I mean, we all, so many of us done so many things. So
Can I
I've
give
heard
you
it
a
all.
little bit? Can I give you a little bit of advice? And
Oh boy. Oh
no,
boy.
I'm serious. I want to give you a little bit of advice, Pam.
Can you
You
give
know I
me
don't
advice
take
instead?
I got you, right?
What do you think of my hair?
By the way, I wanted to compliment you on your lighting, bro. You really did that. I see you took it to heart because your lighting is perfect. You look fantastic.
Well, there was 1,000 comments that you were better looking than me, and
That's not true.
so I had to.
I'm probably a 7. I might be a 6.5. I'll push and say a 7.
I was
but no.
in negative scores like on the game show.
No, but look here. Check this out, Pam. If you want to reach people, do it with love. Even if you got something, an opinion that you might feel is, you know, you say you have an opinion about a January 6th, or you have an opinion about Trump, or you have an opinion, whatever the opinion is, right? Don't speak from a place of malice when you're making those
No,
posts.
I'm not. I don't. That's your opinion. I do not.
I'm not giving an opinion.
Look,
I'm just
tough
giving
love is what it's called. You're going to hear some facts and truth from me, where if it hurts you or not, it's not perpetrated.
It was
There's a
just
big
advice. It
difference.
was not my opinion. I was just giving
They
a little
are
advice.
lying about what they did on January 6th. They're
I
lying.
think a lot of people are lying about what they did on January 6th.
Well, yeah,
I
we
think
all want to
people
stay a
seen that
victim.
today.
I get it. It's so much better. I want to
Pam.
be with you guys. I could be making a lot of money, and everybody.
I don't make money from
poor
January
Mega
6th, Pam.
Granny.
Pam, I don't make money from January 6th.
No, I'm not saying you, but you know what I'm
But
saying.
here's the thing: when you
I
say
wouldn't have got
people
a
playing the
smear
victim,
campaign.
when you say people playing the victim, though, Pam, isn't that what you're doing when you put the blame
Yes.
off on Trump?
Oh, I blame Trump. Yes, you're right.
So then, how can you be the pot calling the kettle black?
Because I will be. I'll be a hypocrite. Because I believe that Trump had this all set up. I do.
And you
Now, that
believe
doesn't excuse what I did. I had a choice. But we need to point the finger at Trump.
why?
He lied. The election was not stolen. People around him, read some books and do some research, were telling him the election was not stolen.
Did you see
And
what just
he
came out
didn't
in
listen.
Arizona, Pam? Did you see what just happened in Arizona?
No, what?
How they literally came out and said their own government, the state board, came out and said that their election was fraudulent in 2020. So he did not lie. He did not lie, Pam. And
Well,
this
let
is
me
all.
answer.
Do it, please do, please do.
Write that down. Arizona, what? Their board?
Arizona election in 2020 was fraudulent, and there's proof now. And people like Mike Lindell that got all kind of scrutiny. He got scrutinized, even though he came out and he showed this. He was the first one on top of Arizona, telling everybody. I even thought he was crazy for a second, but here, lo and behold, it came out. It has literally just came out that Arizona.
Remember, I'm reading the book. But remember, I'm reading the book. All misinformation is sabotaging our country.
Just
You
look it
better
up.
fact check this and find out where you
I
get your
don't.
information.
When their state government comes out on the
That
news,
they lied to.
mm,
Duh.
No, Pam.
They're called white.
Well, then there's no way for you to. So basically, you want to stay caught in your own delusion because you don't want to listen to anybody else's truth.
No, I wrote down what you said. I'm gonna research it and see where it's coming from.
Okay.
Let me just ask. So Pam, one, what book is that? And two, what do you give us? 2 or 3 takeaways that you've learned from that book.
Oh, this is so good. All warfare is based on deception, the art of war.
Sun Tzu.
Huh?
That's from Sun Tzu.
Yeah. I can't do that right now, but I come from a world where you look at a president and he's not perfect, but you trust him, you believe everything he says. And I didn't realize that there was disinformation going on. Okay, for example, I'll give you one. There was a big thing about water. You could talk to water. And you drink it and it helps your body. We'll find out from a scientist that was all fake.
Who the fuck said that?
Yeah, it was a Chinese gentleman that put this out, and they were buying books and posters and drinking water. You talk to the water, it changes its, I don't know what it's called.
Molecular structure?
Yeah, and it makes you healthier. So I believed it. I mean, that's where I come from. I'm very gullible. I believe everything I read. But nowadays we
You
have
sure
to be
we're not
careful.
talking about fire water here?
No, it's water. But I'm just using an example that I'm so gullible. I believe everything. So I just want to
What
know
book is that? And I thought that was a J6 book that you were showing. What book is that? Are you getting good stuff out of there?
Oh, how disinformation is sabotaging America, the attack from within. And then I'm reading this one.
Hey, Pam, you want to see how I was going to show up to the show?
Disobey in advance.
Pam, you want to see how?
Hold on. I want to hear the answer though. Like, what's your takeaway from the attack from within?
So far that you really need to read. Well, I could read you something on.
It's a good opportunity to tell people why it's worth reading.
Well, I'm not good at book reviews. I have to plan it ahead of time and make bullet points. I can't just do it off the cuff like that.
You've been great off the cuff. I just was wondering if anything stuck out in your mind.
Well, yeah, January 6th, she shares about that and all the propaganda that was going on. We cannot forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal.
And that's another thing. I forgot to touch on that. You said that Trump, not my words, this is your words. You said that Trump is worse than Hitler? Pam? A man that's responsible for the slaughter of however many people in a war.
Hold on.
Said that Trump is worse than him?
You know, when they're putting you on the train, I'll hide you. You don't think this is possible, do you? You don't really believe he's trying to take over the country like it. You don't see it. You're blinded right now. He's a narcissist. He's very dangerous. He's been lying to us. He wants all the millionaires to be millionaires. He don't care about you. Narcissists don't know how to care about people. Huh?
But you say this, but you're supporting the party that literally wants to keep people poor and dependent upon a government.
Not true. That's what you've been hearing.
No, that is the facts about the Democratic Party.
They want to give them opportunities.
The Democratic Party wants to give people opportunities.
Yeah.
An opportunity to what?
Do better in college, maybe help them get through college.
So why didn't he do the student loan forgiveness like he promised then?
Yeah, he tried, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He did not try.
Well, don't get me on politics because you know I'm not schooled.
But you just made a claim.
So then,
I hear you, but Pam, you just made a claim. And this is what I mean when I'm saying, like, I feel like you're going too far into the wrong direction just because of your hate towards Trump. You're not basing anything that you're feeling based off of facts that you know. You're basing it off of things that you read in those books or the things that they come from media talking heads.
Ask me if I hate. Don't tell me I do, okay? Because I won't do that to you.
You said it, Pam, on your video. You hate Trump. You said that in your video. You said that. That's your words. That's not my
Okay.
word.
Okay, so I have moments when I don't like him. That's true.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make you mad.
Because
And
of what
I'm
he's
just, I'm
doing to
literally
this
just quoting
country,
what
to
you
tear
said.
this country apart, but his lying, his narcissistic lies. That's why I hate seeing you all getting trapped inside of it, just like I was.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm fresh home from prison. I got a big old house. I'm taking care of all my children. I'm
Well,
helping my community.
wait till he puts the terrorists on. Oh boy.
I shop American made. The terrorists won't affect me.
So, one, Cash, fix your light. This is weird. Two,
It's pretty cool though, right?
it's
it.
different. It's different.
I like it too.
It's like the Red Man Group or something.
I love it, bro.
Um,
Yeah, I got the edges. You see that?
So there, you were talking about hate, Pam. Somebody in the comments, and I don't know what this is, but it was on the
Oh
topic.
wait, I want to make a correction real quick. Trump
Sure.
could. I said Trump could be worse than Hitler. So look at what I said.
But somebody asked about if you're familiar with a group called Help Stop Hate.
Yeah.
Have you
Help
worked with
Stop
them in the
Hate.
past, or?
Help Stop Hate. I thought it was called something else. There was a man that was calling me a lot that one of my videos. Stop Hate, I think. Not Help Stop Hate.
Yeah, stop hate.
Stop Hate. Yeah, we found out about him.
Okay,
Ooh.
so you're not involved with that group anymore?
No, I'm not in any group. Never have been. hang
Again,
out
this
with
is from the comments, so this is not something that from my research.
No, I'm not involved in any groups.
Okay.
Never have been. I just hang out with them. Take video.
So Pam, going forward, how would you characterize and how would you propose that we speak about January 6th going forward?
Thank you. Thanks a lot. The way I want you to. Yeah, good luck on that one.
I'm asking. I
Well-
got other stuff I could be doing. I dropped what I had to do this with you, so I'm
Why
definitely
don't you
interested.
research and get this a list that shows you about the doors being opened. I didn't like seeing that because I don't like that people fooled me and lied to me. And then when I see it, I go, shit, they were lying to me. Pissed me off. But I had to see that, and I'm glad I did. The ones that were saying the officers opened the doors, and then you got the proof right in front of you. You go, oh my God. Just be honest. Can we do that? I mean, as far as what happened on January 6th.
Pam.
Don't say the truth about January 6th. Nobody has the truth. Really, you think about it. How do you know the truth? Because of what I said, because of what picture I showed you. How about the one with me next to Epps that we've already gotten my lawyer to prove that you guys are in trouble for putting that?
But
I was not
just to
next to
backtrack.
Epps. Do you see what they're doing? They're twisting video. You know the officer that was putting the stick down on Roseanne Boland? Do you know that was a fixed video?
Yeah,
She wasn't
I seen the
beaten
real
like
video.
that.
It
That's
was in our
not.
discovery. I seen the
Yeah,
real
you
video.
show the real video and then they fix these videos. So stop this lying.
I agree.
Stop fixing it.
Look,
Don't
I'm
put
not
me next
against
to
doing
Epps,
that.
and I'm not. I would love to have been next to Epps. I would have been the first one put it up. I put up my Proud Boys video. I put up my Jake Chansley video. Why would I hide being next to Epps? Why would I hide it? Why would I wouldn't have. I would have loved it. So
Okay.
look at what I was,
But Pam, can I just backtrack just a bit?
lie
When you
about
say
it.
about the Capitol,
Stop it.
doors not being opened by police, so who opened them?
I'd have to have that list and show you. It's from the court.
Do you know that the Capitol building has some of the strongest magnetic locks anywhere in the world? Did you know that? Did you know that the
Jake
only way?
Lane.
Did you know that them
Jake
doors?
Lane opened one. I have the video. Him saying it.
He did not open one.
No, I got a video. He's saying it.
I was locked up with Jake, and he did not open any Capitol
Then
doors.
What's this video that
But
he's
listen,
saying he opened it?
wait, can I? Jake says a lot of things that aren't
Don't
true.
gaslight.
Jake
Don't
says
gas.
a lot of things that are not true, Pam.
This is a video of him saying it.
Jake says a lot of things that aren't true, Pam.
Oh, God. That's a good one.
Okay.
Boy,
But
I'm going
here's
to
the
put you in
thing.
my group therapy.
Here's the thing. Well, I'm agreeing with you. I don't know why I need therapy
We
for
have
that.
a video. He says he put his hand in, he opened the door, and he was
Right.
so happy about it.
Right. Again, Pam, do you know how them doors open?
Yes, I know. I've been
How?
again.
How do they
No, I
open?
don't. No, I don't know how they open, but you're twisting this again. You're
I'm not.
gaslighting.
No, I'm
You
not.
are.
If they did not want them doors to be open,
Okay, they open
Pam,
them. Let's pretend the officers opened all the doors. Okay, let's go for it.
Pam, my what I'm
Why
alluding to
did you
here,
go in?
Pam,
Why did you walk in?
Pam, you
You
getting
knew it was
Pam,
illegal.
that's disrespectful. We're having a civil conversation. I'm not
Yeah, but
over
answer my
talking.
question.
I'm trying to ask a question and you keep interrupting me. That's not how a
Because
good
you're
conversation goes.
gaslighting.
I'm not gaslighting. I'm
You're
being
saying
very
the doors
serious.
were open. You're
No, I'm
asking me if I
saying no,
know.
that's not what I was going to
Do
say,
I
Pam.
live at the
What I'm
Capitol? Do I know
Pam,
about
what I'm
doors?
saying is the Capitol doors are magnetically locked and they can only be unlocked from inside.
Not if you
The
break a
security.
window and go inside and then go and open it. That's what they did. They went through windows and then went around and opened the doors.
You know,
Tell,
it's a Bible verse that
tell the whole
says
truth.
a fool despises correction.
They opened the doors. They went in through windows. That's
Okay,
factual.
again, even if they went through them windows, they
They
would
opened
not
the
be
door.
they would not be able to open the doors if them doors were locked, because they are some of the strongest magnetic locks in the world that can only be opened by security in securities.
That's not factual. That's not true.
That is look it up,
No, it's
Pam.
not.
You say
I
you
don't-
want to look everything up. Look it up.
No,
Look
they're
it up.
not, maybe not all of them were locked that day because the Congress were there. Maybe
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
firing
They
reason.
weren't locked. You're 100% right.
Because
They
there was
weren't
a
locked.
restriction. It was out. The word was out. It was restricted for that day for everybody. For everyone. Nobody was, not even tourists could go there that day.
Well, can I touch on something else that you said?
You had to get a permit to be in the
I
city.
gotta. This was
Let me jump in with a question real quick.
Can you wait, Free? I'm sorry. I gotta ask this. I gotta get off here in a minute. You made the claim, Pam, that Trump didn't approve the National Guard to be there that day,
I
and
have
that
that one.
okay. Well, that's false. This is already public knowledge. This is out in the open. The Democrats
That's
and
your
Republicans have agreed.
propaganda.
No,
You
Pam,
want to watch my video?
Pam,
Nancy
listen. Can I
Pelosi
finish?
had no
Can I
responsibility.
finish speaking? It's not Nancy Pelosi.
I don't
It's
want to hear
Muriel
your lying
Bowser.
propaganda. It's lies.
It's not propaganda. Muriel Bowser was supposed to call in the
No.
National Guard, and she
No.
didn't. The president cannot make the National Guard go anywhere. The mayor of that city.
You
has
have that
to
all
approve.
wrong. That's the wrong propaganda going out there. I can tell you.
Okay.
Well, at least listen to my video and I'll send it to you. And
I
here's the
listened to it.
facts.
I
Okay,
listened
because
to
this
it.
came from a top researcher.
Let me stop for 1 second. I would like to do a follow-up where we bring the videos back. I know we did this on short notice and we could bring the materials with and we could go through it all together. And I know I think all three of us have to jump off here in a minute anyways.
Yeah, I gotta go babies.
Yeah. Pam, again, very, very nice of you to do this short notice. And, you came on my show and that means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Do you want to say anything in closing to our audience?
Excuse me. That's the way it works. No, thank you for listening to me and to Nash. I just hope we can get to a place where I didn't want to hear facts either. I didn't, but they got presented in front of me and I wasn't so closed-minded to at least look at it. So like Spencer said, what keeps a man in everlasting ignorance is contempt prior to investigating. So at least be open to hear what I've learned. Doesn't mean you have to, I'm listening to what you've learned, right? And you tell me your facts, listen to mine and just be open-minded to look at it and go, oh, well, I'm going to find out where that came from. This is true, I'm going to stop putting out this propaganda. If you find something that I found out about that is propaganda, I'll do the same. We can play the same rules because we're going to stop putting out propaganda. That's all we need to do. I may
agree.
not want to hear what he's saying, But I need to hear what Nash is saying too, because he could be right. He could be right too. You could be right. I could be wrong. So we are, but let's get it figured out so we can have the truth of January 6th, not all this
Okay.
back and forth lying and fixed
I'm with that.
videos.
I'm with
Does that
that.
make sense?
Yes,
It really does.
And I'm with that. I'm with that all the way.
Okay.
You have, okay. Closing. Appreciate you, Free. You already know. Pam, thank you for coming on. That's brave. You know, I know you probably didn't know how this was gonna go, but I wanted to hopefully prove to you that I'm not what you thought I was. And I have a feeling that I'm right in saying that, even about some of the other people that you brought up on your ex. If you got to know them, they're not like what you may think. They're good people. Maybe made some mistakes. We all do. But overall, I just hope that everybody got a sense of this is what it should be. We should be able to have conversation, have dialogue, even if we totally disagree,
Yeah.
and still end it civilly, because we are Americans at the end of the day. So, Pam, thank you for coming on and talking with
Thank
me.
you.
I will stand down if you'll stand down. All right. Put them away.
Not
All
with
right.
my J6.
Well, at least do me this.
The
Make
personal
sure
stuff.
just don't make it personal. That's why all I ask. Don't make it personal and make claims about people that aren't true. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm asking. If you want to put up stuff that's public knowledge that may or may not be true, like you said, even with that, I hope you remember that some of the stuff that's written down isn't true about you. And it's the same that goes for them. So just be careful in the knowledge that you're putting out there, because they did lie on a lot of people.
So do a lot of more fact checking.
Yes, that's it. And Free, I appreciate you for hosting, my bro, and having me on. God bless all of y'all. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Tomorrow I'll be on Cowboy Logic, Real America's Voice. If you guys want to tune in, I got to get the time right. I'll post it. And yeah, God bless y'all. Thank you for tuning in, sharing this
Pam,
out.
anything you want to plug while we're signing off here?
Oh, no. Just
Okay.
have a Merry Christmas. Have a nice day.
I just want to plug one thing really quick. Please follow the best lady in the business, Terry. She's been back there furiously working. We didn't get to really any comments at all because they were kind of crazy. But yeah, so we wanted to keep this civil and everything. So I just let you two participate, and I didn't want to bring any other emotions or excitement into it. And I'm actually very pleased with how this went, and I appreciate both of you. You're both brave and you're both strong for doing this. And, I appreciate that you were listening to each other and willing to hear each other and talk it out. So I think we made some progress tonight. Pam, I hope I demonstrated myself as a peacemaker and somebody willing to be neutral. And if I can ever provide this service for you again, please let me know, because I enjoyed talking to you as well. So, yeah, I'd like us all to get along. We're all Americans. It sounds like we all have a background in faith, a belief in faith. I would like for all of us to be able to get along, enjoy our commonality, and not be fixated on our differences and make those hurt us. So, lots of great Christmas wishes and God blesses to both of you in the comments. And yeah, thank you to everybody that watched this, and thank you to everybody that participated, and thank you for being civil to each other in the comments. It looked like it went pretty decently in the comments. So
Well, thank you.
awesome. Well,
I just like to say to Nash real quick, thank you for what you did for that family. I watched
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
That was
Yes,
nice.
ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate that. God get the glory. That was America.
Peace.
yeah. Good night, everybody. Merry Christmas. And thanks again for doing this.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all.
Good night, everybody. And we're